In the mid-1890s, Davis engines were built in Waterloo, Iowa. Waterloo was a manufacturing hub at the time with a population of 25,000. Several manufacturers were in the Waterloo area. Davis engines were simple in design and available through mail order. Davis engines were also innovative. This frost-proof water hopper design is one example. Design allowed water to be removed from the water jacket by removing the sheet metal outer shells, thus preventing freeze damage. By 1903, Davis was sold to Thomas Cascadin, an engineer that worked at Davis. The Davis-designed engines were sold under the Cascadin-Vaughan name. J.R. Vaughan was the company's secretary. Around 1904, the name was changed again to the Cascadin Manufacturing Company. Mail order remained the business model. Selling engines to farmers through mail order was difficult. Many were skeptical buying something they could not see in person. It was also thought by many that the internal combustion engine was the devil's work, and it was not right doing work with an engine that could be done manually. In 1908, Wm Galloway purchased the Cascadin Manufacturing Company and added engine building to his established farm equipment business. Galloway was of Scottish descent and was a firm believer in doing things right and honest. The engine line was changed to Galloway, and the engines were available in sizes ranging from 2¼ to 28 horsepower. Galloway worked to lower the cost of his engines due to the fact many farmers simply could not afford them. Wm Galloway brought a targeted and straightforward marketing model to engine sales. Simplicity, reliability, and affordability were the pillars of the Galloway engine mail order business model. A superior yet simple engine at a fraction of the cost without the dealer markup. A Galloway engine was half the cost of a dealer-supplied competitor engine. Reliability was important and marketed. Every engine was ran at rated speed and under load with an elaborate brake system designed by Galloway himself prior to shipping. In line with the Davis design, the Galloways all had the signature round rod connecting rod design. Soon shops of all types and farmers were using the affordable and reliable Galloway engines. To combat the ability to pay and uncertainties associated with mail order purchasing, Galloway offered several payment options, including cash, partial payment with financing, and complete financing. To ease the buyer's mind, a $25,000 bond was offered to cover lost productivity should the engine be to blame. A 30-day buyback was also offered, covering complete refund with freight reimbursement both ways. In 1916, the engine line was updated to the Masterpiece line. Many aspects remained the same. However, the signature round rod connecting rod was updated to the cast iron I-beam design. Engine production stopped in the mid-1930s. Wm Galloway passed away in 1952. Here's my 5-horse round rod Galloway. The buzzing in the background is the halide lights in my building. I had to turn them on to get enough light for filming. It's still not real great, but it is what it is. I got this engine in 2009 at an auction, and it was completely apart. Needed the piston sleeved, cylinder sleeved, so I had that done, and then started working putting the engine back together. I had it pinstriped. There's quite a bit of pinstripe on these Galloways. Story goes that the pinstripe was the last thing they did on assembly, and there would be 2 or 3 pinstripers, and they would kind of just try to one-up each other as far as pinstriping. And so a lot of them had different designs. I found some literature that had this design on it, and that's what I went with. This is a 1910. The Galloway Company, the Wm Galloway Company, came into existence in 1908, and this is a 1910, so there are some Davis Jr. parts on here. So it's a transition engine. It's 5 horsepower, it weighs about 970 pounds. It's got a 5.5-inch piston bore and a 10-inch stroke, so that comes out to about 237 cubic inch, or about 3.9 liter in one cylinder. It runs at about 250 RPM. We won't be running it that fast today. I've got the trailer blocked up a little bit because if you don't, it will start bouncing. So it's a pretty standard farm engine of the time. It's a hit and miss engine, so it hits only when the governor lets it hit. If it was working all the time, it would fire all the time. It's for intermittent load, saw mill or saw rig type stuff, farm work. It's got an igniter. One thing about the Galloway igniter is this lever right here. You can flip that lever and start the engine just by flipping that lever if you place the crankshaft in the right position. I never start it that way. I just turn the decompression off and just roll it over and run. It runs really nice, and I've had it, like I said, since 2009. This engine's just an all-day runner at a show, and that's what I've got it set up on this trailer to do, is go to shows with it this summer. Back here, you can see the fuel tank and a battery box. This is a battery and coil ignition system. It's not a magneto, so it just runs off of a battery. I got a 12-volt battery in there. There's a back view of the crankshaft area. Got grease cups here for greasing the mains, one on the connecting rod, and then a drip oiler up there for oiling the piston. Got a water hopper for water for cooling, just like on the Reeves engine. We're not going to put water in it because we're not going to run it very much today. Got a fuel shutoff here, and then a check ball feeding a Lunkenheimer mixer. So let's see if it'll run.